Round 2 Wrestling is back. Thank you for tuning into this brand new podcast here on the 21st of June, 2023. I am your host with the most wrestling information, Slimm Da KID, and for those of you tuning in to Round 2 Wrestling for the first time, let me break it down for you. We have 4 rounds, or 4 segments that we go over. We talk about the what ifs and maybes going on in the world of professional wrestling. That is our rumor mill. We talk about pro wrestling news. This is something a bit more actual factual. We have title matches and those exclusive results here for you on Round 2 Wrestling. We will conclude this brand new podcast with a fan and producer favorite, Did You Know Pro Wrestling Facts? However, we are at the beginning of this podcast, Round 1, and we are going to kick off things by taking a listen to the what ifs and maybes in the world. This is the Pro Wrestling Rumor Mill. What a nice sound. AEW and the elite quartet of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Adam Page haven't agreed on new contracts yet, but the sides have been close for several months, according to Fightful Select. WWE is not going to risk any tampering when it comes to AEW right now, and this is per the Wrestling Observer newsletter. This is partially due to the fact that MLW's lawsuit against WWE still hasn't been thrown out, and we have an update later on about that particular lawsuit. BWE claims that Taz wants his son Hook to go to WWE. Triple H and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels want him too. For what it's worth, BWE thinks Hook could be the first of many to make the jump. We will keep our eyes and ears peeled to our scanners and TV screens, and we'll update you on this particular rumor when and if it turns to truth. According to PW Insider, the reaction among those backstage in AEW was really positive when it came to the debut of Collision, and everyone felt they did a good job of making the show look and feel different than Dynamite. Rush's current contract is believed to be a 1-year deal and could be up soon, says the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Rush is and will become one of the hottest and most sought-after free agents once his contract does actually expire. Per Dave Meltzer at The Observer, Saraya is away from AEW right now, but it's not exactly clear why. CM Punk's Collision promo last Saturday was, quote, 100% off the cuff, end quote, says a PW Insider Elite report. While Punk had a few lines in mind ahead of time, his material wasn't pre-written and approved, meaning it was totally off the fucking hook. That shot from the hip. There's no other way to explain it. He did a good job, but he touched on a few nerves, and that, again, is just my opinion. The belief among PW Insider's AEW sources in Chicago last weekend was that Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay will main event Forbidden Door on Sunday. This could be one of the more true rumors in our particular rumor mill this week. I do see this being the headline match for Forbidden Door 2. Amanda Huber is working in AEW production per PW Insider. Michael Mansouri, the former WWE production exec brought in by Tony Khan last year, is said to have recruited her from the community outreach team. The Observer says Kenny Omega isn't going to appear live on Dynamite or Collision this week, but he could appear via a pre-taping. Alright, that is the conclusion of pro wrestling rumors and what ifs and maybes. You'll have a little bit to think about over the next week to 10 days. However, we are going to move over to round 2 here on Round 2 Wrestling and talk about things that are a bit more real. This is our short pro wrestling news. All right, here we go. The world of AEW games is about to get a lot bigger on June 29th with the release of AEW Fight Forever. It joins AEW Elite General Manager, a mobile game where you get to manage the AEW roster, and this was released back in July of 2021. Now, AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery Sports announce another new AEW mobile game. AEW Figure Fighters, where AEW stars stylized as action figures will duke it out on your mobile device. AEW Figure Fighters is in early development and planned for release in 2024. The antitrust lawsuit put up by MLW against WWE has had its first victory. Kasowitz Benson Torres, on behalf of professional wrestling promotion company MLW Media, has defeated a motion to dismiss MLW's amended complaint asserting federal antitrust and state law unfair competition claims. Mark E. Kasowitz stated, quote, "We are pleased with Judge Davila's well-reasoned opinion and look forward to recovering the substantial damages that MLW has suffered as a result of WWE's many years of egregious anti-competitive behavior." End quote. This is a huge victory for MLW and could see the beginning of WWE's downfall when it comes to trying to monopolize the wrestling market. This is not something new. WWE has been doing this for years, and this is not the first time a company has stepped forward and accused the global giant of market manipulation and monopolizing or trying to monopolize the pro wrestling market. We here at Round 2 Wrestling will make sure we give you the most up-to-date news when it comes to this particular subject. Umaga's son, Zilla Fatu, is slated to make his pro wrestling debut next month. It was announced by Booker T's promotion, Reality of Wrestling, that Fatu will work their Summer of Champions event at the Humble Civic Center on July 15th. Former Impact Wrestling World Champion Moose has announced that he is staying with Impact Wrestling. According to the former world champion, Moose signed the, quote, longest deal anyone has ever signed in company history, end quote. The length and terms of this contract were not available at the time of this broadcast. New York State's history with professional wrestling stretches over 70 years from the territorial days to global giants like WWE. But for decades, promoters from the WWE to local independents have been hampered by strict regulations and heavy scrutiny from the state's athletic commission. Professional wrestling under the current State Athletic Commission is held to the same standard as boxing and mixed martial arts. This sports entertainment is considered a combat sport under New York regulations. Senator Tim Kennedy has introduced a bill to review the state's regulations for pro wrestling, and that could mean less fees and more ways for promoters to make a viable living with their promotions going forward. Impact Wrestling announced today a new TV deal in the United Kingdom and Ireland. Impact Wrestling, a property of Anthem Sports Group and DAZN, the global sports entertainment platform, have made available Impact Wrestling's flagship weekly show, Impact, on Sky UK via Danzen's linear TV channel, Danzen 1 HD. Quote, "We thank our partner DAZN and look forward to bringing Impact Wrestling live to the UK very soon," end quote, said Scott D'Amore, president of Impact Wrestling. On the latest Monday Mailbag podcast, legendary referee Nick Patrick told a story about being exposed to hepatitis when he was working for WWE. He also said that he had to get a lawyer to protect his family. Quote, "It was hell in a cell, so everybody got juice. You know, me, everybody. It was a match with Undertaker and Randy Orton, and Bob Orton Sr. was managing Randy at the time." End quote. Patrick didn't know that one of the wrestlers, Bob Orton Sr., was positive for hepatitis and didn't bother to inform his fellow wrestlers or the referee. When asked by WWE management to ask which wrestlers would allow him to officiate, Patrick said, "I popped. I said, that's not my effing responsibility, and I'm not the one that exposed myself." End quote. That was the first time I blew up at the office, recalls Nick Patrick. Nick Patrick later on said he got tested shortly after this incident and was found to not have hepatitis. A scary situation nonetheless, and that is the conclusion of Round 2 Wrestling. We are going to move right over into title matches, but we have a warning. This particular segment may contain spoilers for your favorite promotion, so please listen, but with caution. Ring of Honor World TV Champion Samoa Joe defeated Matt Sydal to retain the Ring of Honor World TV title. Ring of Honor six-man tag team champions The Embassy defeated AR Fox, Action Andretti, and Darius Martin to retain the Ring of Honor six-man tag team titles. Akira defeated MLW middleweight champion Lince Dorado to become the new MLW middleweight champion. Delmi Exo defeated MLW Women's Featherweight Champion Taya Valkyrie to become the new MLW Women's Featherweight Champion. AEW TNT Champion Wardlow defeated Luchasaurus to retain the AEW TNT Championship. WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defeated the Judgment Day to retain the WWE Undisputed Tag Team titles. WWE United States Champion Austin Theory defeated Sheamus to retain the WWE United States Championship. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins defeated Damian Priest to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunther defeated Shinsuke Nakamura and Matt Riddle to retain the WWE Intercontinental Championship. WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns defeated Rey Mysterio to retain the WWE Universal Championship. Arez and Commander defeated Ray Horus and Octagon Jr. and the team of Jack Evans and Mestizas to win the vacant AAA Tag Team titles and become the new AAA Tag Team Champions. GCW Ultraviolent Champion Rina Yamashita defeated Maki Ito to retain the GCW Ultraviolent Championship. Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena defeated Kiera Hogan to retain the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion Kerry Morton defeated Adam Brooks to retain the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. NXT North American Champion Wes Lee defeated Tyler Bate to retain the NXT North American Championship. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins defeated Braun Breaker to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. A lot of titles on the line across various promotions. Be sure to listen to Round 2 Wrestling again in case you missed your favorite title and promotion. We are at the end of Round 2 Wrestling, and we are going to conclude this with a fan and producer favorite, Did You Know? Did you know are little bits of information and facts about the wrestling world you may or may not have known about. You gotta love the bell. Did you know, since his debut in 1995, Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane, holds the record for wrestling the most matches in WWE history, including TV shows, pay-per-views, and house shows, with close to 2,500 matches. Did you know both Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan wrestled their last WWE matches at the age of 53? Did you know All-Star Wrestling is the oldest wrestling promotion in the United Kingdom and the third oldest active company overall, being established in 1970? The only two older promotions are CMLL, based in Mexico, started in 1933, and the WWE started way back in 1963. Did you know the very first RKO was hit by Randy Orton on Hurricane Helms on June 9th, 2003? And did you know the Sandman built the cross he was crucified on in the infamous ECW angle, and also constructed the scaffolding for the Tommy Dreamer / Brian Lee match? The Sandman is a skilled carpenter who owns his own construction company. That is the end of Round 2 Wrestling. I, Slimm Da KID, want to thank you for tuning into this brand new podcast. Be sure to tune in next week while I bring you more news, more rumors, and more results from the world of professional